Oh, best beloveds, greetings one, greetings all. As I said a couple episodes ago, that I was having my brain decided that it was time to punish me by giving me nightmares. Now, if you listen to the last chapter, it didn't seem much like a nightmare. Oh, I'll be honest, it wasn't really at first, until after a little bit. And it'll start to, this episode will start to be like that. So what happened was I was moved in the hospital bed, plane, boat. I was moved from the crew quarters to a spot in the lower levels there to the right of me. I saw a walkway that was a combination of walkway and people mover. And to the left of me, I had windows that focused out on the duck side, the water side. Okay, so I was kept in there. Now, I was still in Portland, and my subconscious brain was telling me that I needed to wake up. I needed to get stopping what I was having happen because I was wasting time, and also my body was not responding like it should be, but I wasn't paying attention to it. And other than a few fantastical elements, life seemed to be relatively um, mundane when I was on there. So what happened was, as I would explore, because the bed was working properly, so I would explore the inside of the hospital plane boat. And one of the things I found was a pelt of a lion that was there. Now, the lion whose skin was the pelt also was a ghost named Scrapper. Now, at the fault of the ghost, it was disappointing humanity because humanity wasn't paying attention to it. But I said, hey, I'll take care of you, and you can be with me. We'll take care of each other. So at the end of the day, I took the skin with me into the bedroom that I was at, and the scrappers started to take care of me. Okay, so that's what happened, and at the end, what happened was, in the process, I was being investigated. I was getting better, and I was told I could get ready to go home. So I was all excited. So what happened was I didn't have any clothes in there because, of course, they were all destroyed accidentally when I was in the hospital bed. Okay, so I made some wear outside clothes based on the stuff that was available in the janitorial closet from the gowns and stuff. So I had that. Now, as I waited, and as I was waiting, I was watching TV. I know this seems irrelevant. Why am I talking about it? But hey, I'm in the process of it. I was watching TV, and it was like streaming today, or as I like to think of it, direct to video copy or sequels and stuff. There were sequels I was watching based on the Jumanji franchise, but not the Robin Williams one, but the new one. Also, on the Ted comedy, and it involved another imaginary creature. and stuff like that, and alternate takes of the Avengers and Captain America, and also, even though I haven't watched it, alternate versions are TV shows like the oh God, what's it? Willow, and there was an episode of Willow I was watching where it connected to the Star Wars franchise. Okay, so anyway, as I was lying down and waiting, um, people from the Upa shop got me, and said, "Hey, we know what you did. We appreciate it, and we want to offer you a job, and we'll take care of all your bills." Okay, so here I am in Portland, in the plane hospital bed, our boat. Grateful that I didn't have to pay for anything. And what happened was I got out, I was discharged, and I was going home. I took not Kippers, Scrapper with me. And I took him home, and I put him there, and I made sure he was safe. Now, something happened that resulted in me leaving the house. To this day, I don't know what happened, but I think what happened is that I saw myself as I really am. I was at the time, which means I was lying in bed, covered in tubes poking out of me and stuff. Just a mess. Visually and emotionally a mess. Of course, I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't think it was necessary, so I didn't do anything when I saw it. But I was at a park. I was out of my house. I was at a park that was next to a lake, and for some reason there was an adjustable bed. And I went down to it and lied down on it. And as I was lying down, the room that I was in on the boat plane hospital was being formed around me. And so I saw the window on my left. It focused on the water and the dockside. And the walkway that was part people mover from the airport was forming on my right. And behind a glass pane that was the door. Okay, fine and dandy. And when I went to bed, for some reason, I woke up and I was back in the bed. I was back in the hospital. Okay. And in the process of it, I was still in Portland, and I was being cared for by the guy, but he was didn't care about me, of course, but he was more focused on the fact that the net crew of the working crew of the boat were forming a gang, taking over from the doctors and stuff. Okay. And I was there and couldn't move because they gave me a broken bed deliberately so I wouldn't move anymore. And they made copy of me not moving. They didn't want me to move because I was becoming a liability for them. Because, of course, at the time, I was a visual reminder of their mistake. So, what happened was, during the time, the caretaker I had, he was still taking care of me, sort of. But at the same time, he had a protege. from the gang. He was the leader of the gang. So what happened was, at the time, the hospital was making me go from a liquid diet and not eating to a food diet. Now, for some reason, the food was really fancy, and I wasn't eating it because, of course, the guy would take it, and his protege would take it and eat it. Now, I didn't really notice anything different happening to me at first because I still thought I was really overweight, and so I wasn't paying attention to it. Now, in the process of me waking up back in the bed in Portland, my mom would come from her house and visit me every day, and my dad got out of retirement and took a job getting the plane ready. He worked in maintenance at the thing because his logic was there should be someone there almost every day for me if they need to be. Of course, it was not as good as it was as I thought because my dad was going to be going to Ashland, Oregon for the Shakespeare Festival in about a month or so. Because I'm thinking at the time it's about May. Anyway, so at the time, during the day, I had my mom, I had him, and I had my brother Brian taking care of me and making sure that the doctors were doing a good job with me because I still was recovering from what they made a mistake with. Now, in the process of this, at nighttime, I had to deal with the forming gang members of the evening crew, of the hospital crew, because that's where they lived. And I was being unfortunate side effect there, and I couldn't move because the bed was messed up. So this begins the descent into the badness of of the nightmare. Okay, this is all just setting it up, and I had the caretaker and his protege on one side, of course, and all his gang members, and on the other side, there was a lone girl that at the time I didn't pay much attention. I mean, I talked to her and stuff, but she was a protege, or she was an outreach person from a local Christian religion, I guess. But after the fact, I realized that she looked like someone I knew in the 90s that I worked with. So she would be there for help me when she could. And the guys in the protege, or the caretaker and the protege, would do what they could to make my life miserable and everything they could do to get better and better treatment for me. Because of course it came down to them because they got my food and stuff, and that's all I had for currency, I guess. And since I didn't make a complaint, they took it anyway. So this came to a head shortly afterwards, after it started happening. Because I couldn't speak still, because of course I had the injury that was, for some reason, wasn't there when I left. But when I came back, it was there in my throat. And so I couldn't speak. And I didn't want to be there, but I couldn't say anything because I couldn't speak. And so I had the injury here, and I had this stuff on my right side still. And it turned out that the metallic putty, the chromium putty, or whatever, was slightly radioactive and killing me. So I had to, but it was helping me at first, but it was also killing me because of longer exposure. So we're at the point now, everything is all set up for the downfall of me and what happened after that, because it's just, as I said, my body and everything seemed normal. And the girl fought with the caretaker and his protege all the time and stuff. And as I said, the doctors played it like I was good and stuff, even though they messed up everything. And gonna they were gonna plan something to get rid of me, not not kill me or anything, but just get rid of me off the plane because I was a liability for them. So everything is all set up for the next chapter. And one of the things that I'll talk about next chapter is dreams I had, because I was having dreams within dreams. And they were important because of everything, because of what they said about me. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later, okay? And hopefully I'm inspiring a little bit. You all take care, and I'll see you when I see you, okay? I'll try to be quicker on this stuff, but it sometimes gets overwhelming remembering all this stuff. But I swear, we're near the end of the coma and starting to begin my recovery, okay? I promise. Anyway, you all take her easy. Have a good day. Bye.